In my kitchen today, we're gonna be doing salmon with sauce. Okay, I have my clean salmon here. What I'm doing is adding my marinade. You can check the link in the description for how to make this marinade. But it's really, really good. It definitely spikes up the flavor in the salmon. Don't forget to thumbs up the video below, guys. But I'm just spreading the marinade all over the salmon, and I'm gonna let this sit overnight, definitely. So I'm getting all of the sides and everything. And again, this marinade is onions and bell peppers, garlic, all of that good stuff. Okay, so once we get everything spreaded on, we're gonna go ahead and season it up. I'm just making sure I get all of the little nooks and crannies on the salmon. Okay. All right, so now that we have all of the now that we have the marinade spread it on there like we want to, we're gonna come with the seasonings. I'm just sprinkling a little bit of seasoning salt on there. That was seasoning salt that you saw a moment ago. Some garlic powder. Putting all this good stuff, and it's gonna stay in there. That's my black pepper. We're gonna just go ahead and sprinkle that all over the salmon. And then I'm coming with the zesty lemon seasoning by Weber. That's good for salmon. It's pretty good on the salmon. So I'm gonna sprinkle that on there. Okay, so we had the seasoning salt, the lemon pepper. The seasoning salt, the zesty lemon pepper, the black pepper, the garlic powder, and I'm adding a little bit of sazon on there right now. Okay, and then I'm just rubbing everything in. We want to get those sides and everything too. And again, I'm gonna let this sit overnight in this pan. I'm just right now just rubbing everything in, make sure everything is seasoned. It smells good, and it's just the seasoning. These have been marinating overnight, so we're about to go ahead and get these going. Okay, I have my spice mix, my olive oil, tomato paste, coconut milk, a little water, butter, and the additional spices that I'm gonna put in the pot, like parsley, onion, scotch bonnet pepper, red bell pepper. Okay, so I have about 3 tablespoons of olive oil in the pot. It's hot, so I'm gonna just add that spice mix, that marinade, just adding that to it, and I'm gonna let that fry down before I add the tomato paste. Now for this, when I add the tomato paste, I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons, because what I do with the sauce from this pot, the next day I always have sauce over. I have sauce left over, so typically I'll fry some fish and then I'll use that sauce, but I'm going to show you guys that at the end of this video, so stay tuned. It's either fried fish and I put it over in that sauce, or I just lay the fish down in that sauce and let it cook. You don't really have to do a whole lot of seasoning to it or anything, but I let it cook, and then with some grits, and pour that sauce over the grits, man, that is some good eating. So after that has fried down, Gonna go ahead and get this tomato sauce ready. It looks like it's about how we want it. But I'm gonna be making a good bit of sauce. So in this, I'm gonna use 2 to 3, I'll let you know, tablespoons of tomato paste. But for a typical that amount of salmon, if you're not using the sauce for the next day, use about a tablespoon and a half of the tomato paste. But right here, I'm gonna use about 3 because I want some sauce left over for me some good old grits tomorrow morning. And that's a real quick breakfast. By the time your grits is done, that fish is ready. But to this, I'm gonna be adding water because I don't want it to be clumpy in there. Just adding a little bit of water. And like when you do the chicken, when like you stew down the chicken and you make this sauce, like stew it and then fry it, you make this sauce and you use the gravy from the chicken. That's how they do it here. That's the Haitian way of doing chicken. Really good. But just adding a little water, keeping it from clumping up. I want it to be nice and smooth. I don't want them clumps in the food when I'm done. So this gonna be like a good bit of sauce, so don't worry about like how much you see there. All right, I'm gonna to this I'm gonna add some coconut milk. You don't have to add the coconut milk, but the coconut milk gives it a good flavor to me. I just love the taste of the coconut milk. So I'm gonna add about a quarter of a can, I would say, to this amount of tomato paste. So I'm gonna put that in there. Put a little bit more. As you see how it already made its nice little gravy, but it's not. It looks like a lot of coconut milk, but that's about a quarter can of coconut milk, and I have it kind of cooking down like this now because what I want to do is let that coconut milk cook a little bit. All right, so all we're gonna do from this point, I'm gonna add a little bit more water to that, guys, but we're gonna go ahead and get those salmon from the pan and lay them in the pot. Just lay the salmon in the pot. My aim is gonna be to try to make sure all of them fit, because I want them all laying skin side down on the pan. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit more water. That's about another, I would say, cup. Right now we're about at about a cup and a half, but I'm gonna need more. So we got our Scotch bonnet pepper in there, and we're gonna add the little spices. Trying to film, like new to this filming game, you're supposed to put that garlic down in that marinade and let it go, but still you'll get a nice flavor. But that's the parsley, the Scotch bonnet pepper. I'm gonna get these little garlics from under there. I'm gonna dump that over in there. Sprinkle around. And then I'm gonna put my lid on that baby and I'm gonna let her go for a few minutes. But right now I'm adding about 4 tablespoons of butter, margarine, butter, whatever you want to use. Whatever you have, I have margarine, so we're gonna put that in there. That butter sets it off though. That's my bouillon cube, my Maggie bouillon cube. I'm going to break her up over there. And let her go. All right, guys, it's been about 12 minutes. That's how it's looking so far. Now, what I'm gonna do, I mean, if you want, well, right now what I'm doing is shaking the pot. I don't want the skin sticking to the bottom. So you can use a spatula or whatever, but to keep it like a nice uniform look or whatever, I just shake it up, keep that skin from sticking. But I'm gonna add my onions and my bell peppers, and you can add it. It only takes about between 20 and 25 minutes for this to cook. So I added these onions and bell peppers at about 12-13 minutes in. So it's gonna kind of cook down a little bit, but you can add them in the beginning if you don't want the rigidness of the onions. You can add them in the beginning, but just for like a nice seasoning or whatever, you want that oniony taste. But there they are. The salmon is done, and I cooked some rice with it, so we had salmon and rice. Now the next day I used my sauce. I fried up some fish and I put the sauce over there, and I put the fish into the sauce, and I put that sucker over some grits and kind of killed two birds with one stone. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe.